And welcome to another episode of Comics and Us Origins. I'm TJ.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Lumpy.
And this is the review show that reviews comics chronologically. Kind of. I don't even know if that's the right intro or not. I don't know what the intro is. I don't really care. It is what it is. This show is going on 100 episodes, so whatever.
If you don't know by now, then yeah.
That's on you. I don't care.
Now, can I say something? This is an origin story. This is an origin story. This is an origin. This is your first origin story. I mean, I think it is.
I mean, I would. So I agree. I want to agree. It is an origin story to an extent.
I would say origin story.
But I don't know if it's an origin story.
It's so does a person have to be born in the comic for it to be an origin story? Is that what we're getting? Is that what we're getting at this point?
So they don't have to be born. They don't have to be born.
Uh-huh.
But I need a little more info on the character.
This is literally her becoming Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. It is an origin story. When it comes to that, like, I wasn't going to get into that because you just gave it away and ruined the comic. But yes, it is her becoming Wonder Woman. So it is the origin story of how we got our Wonder Woman.
So yeah, with that being said, we're covering the origin of Wonder Woman today.
I forgot we didn't even say that. So
first appearance.
We're doing an origin show, and this is the first origin story. So is this episode number 1? It's not.
We might have done one other one that was kind of an origin.
And I stopped doing episode numbers because I don't know what order I'm releasing these things.
Okay. Yeah, so this could be the first one. Who knows?
It could be for wherever I decide to release it, sure.
It might be the only origin story we do, so...
whatever. This one was released in January 1942, so we went back a year.
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe not, depending on when I release it.
Yeah, you don't know when this is coming out.
I should keep that in mind, when I do these things.
I thought it was the same year we were on because it's got the same half an hour paragraph on the splash page. That's why I thought it was the same year.
Well, I thought it was similar, too, because there's still a lot of war stuff going on in this one. Right. Like, propaganda and stuff in this one, too.
Very much so.
Anyway, this is All-Star Comics number 8. There's actually 3 stories in it. The first one is the Justice Society, and the second story is Hop Harrigan, but we're not covering those because this is Wonder Woman. This one is called Introducing Wonder Woman, which, interestingly enough, when this was first released, didn't have a title at all.
Oh, really?
Yes, so that Introducing Woman was only in the reprints.
Huh.
So, it was written by William Moulton Marston, penciled by Harry G. Peter, and inked by Harry G. Peter, edited by Sheldon Mayer.
So why does it say right at the bottom, by Charles Moulton?
What do you mean?
What did you say the Moulton name was? You didn't say.
William Moulton Marston.
Well, this says by Charles Moulton on the very first page.
I don't know. Maybe this was written by someone he's related to.
Maybe, okay.
And maybe Charles Moulton was the creator of it. Or maybe that's his pen name. Who knows?
I was going to say, at the time when it was released, maybe he was going by Charles.
Yeah, so who knows?
But his name was William.
And Lumpy released his cats, so you're going to be hearing them.
And how come they make this noise whether they're locked away or they're out? This doesn't make sense.
Oh, one of them just went up into the ceiling.
Nice. We've had that happen before. I hope it crashes on your head again. That would be great.
Anyway, yeah, so this is weird that actually Wonder Woman's even in this, because this comic is usually just like a Justice Society, from what I see.
Oh?
Like, Hop Harrigan's only in 2 issues, and then the next 2 after this is just pure Justice Society. So, I don't know.
From what I saw, that's what it looks like. It is, or it was just Justice Society for... At least for like 16 issues or something.
Yeah, so I don't know why they decided to throw her in at the end of this one, but...
Because they had to find a comic to throw her in, because we already had Detective Comics with Batman and Action Comics with Superman, and they probably had nowhere to put her.
Yeah, but I think during the main show, when we're in that, Wonder Woman has her own comic at that point.
Oh, already? Maybe they just introduce her in this and then move. So she doesn't show back up in All-Star Comics at all?
Not at all. Not that I see. No.
Oh, wow.
I thought she was in one a little later. I could be wrong because it might have been because there's another one called All American.
That's a different comic altogether.
So maybe I'm thinking of that. She might have popped up in All American, not in All Star.
Yeah, All American Comics. I actually have one right in front of me. Has Ultraman in it, so I don't know.
The Japanese Ultraman?
No.
Oh, it's a different Ultraman.
We've talked about him before. He's got a fin on his head and stuff.
Like Ultraman.
I don't know. Sure, like Ultraman.
Does he look like a robot? Is he silver? I don't remember talking about him.
Kind of like a robot, but not. He's a person.
Yeah, that's the Japanese Ultraman. Like that, you're describing him.
But he's not a robot. He looks like a robot with all his extra things, though.
Right, neither is the Japanese Ultraman. They're great shows. We should watch it. We should watch it one time. Ultraman, they're good. Okay. And plus, I'd like to bring stuff up like that so that when we do the YouTube version, you have to put pictures up. So, Sleestack, Ultraman, the Lone Ranger. Let me think what else. Hong Kong Phooey. I just want you to have to get pictures and stuff and put it up there.
Yeah, I'm not putting any of that in. I mean, most of it I already have screenshots or captures of anyway, so I could just easily do it.
Well, because I mentioned Sleestack like 3 times already, so.
Yeah, so they're already there, but now I'm just not doing it out of spite. Alright, I guess that's that. Anything else before we go into the story proper?
No, I'm good.
Right. More Sleestack.
We open up with a plane crashing into an island, essentially, and these 2 women find a man, and they're surprised to see a man because no man has ever been on a paradise island. So, Diana which is Wonder Woman, just spoilers.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Takes the crashed man, who is Steve Trevor, spoiler, to the hospital they have, and they have a very modern hospital.
Yeah, well, they said they have all the modern technology and they use the old technology. She says that at one point. The mom does.
I found this weird based on what other Wonder Woman lore there is, I mean, especially today, because it's always depicted like ancient Greece.
So it is. It's kind of a weird thing because I'm not a Wonder Woman guy. I don't know. I did a little bit of research just kind of checking it out. They are technically supposed to.
They're supposed to be technologically advanced, without a doubt.
Right.
But they don't utilize it in their stuff. They don't. It's like every depiction is just like ancient Greece. Essentially, they don't show technology or anything like that. But. Yeah,
it's a culture thing. Their culture is very ancient Greece, but they do have very high end technology. And that's it's even similar to Wakanda, where the way that the normal people dress and stuff is very still their culture, but they have such advanced technology in the things that they do, but they still abide by their cultures.
Yeah, but it also doesn't and every depiction that I've seen, and I've read practically every Wonder Woman comic since 2013. So
yeah, and I haven't, so I don't have enough. I never even saw the movie or nothing.
So they they don't even display electricity or really anything in it. It's very much they're a warrior race of women, essentially. So seeing hospitals and stuff, which is weird. Seems weird, but then again, if you remember the old Wonder Woman stereotypes where she's got an invisible jet and stuff, it kind of makes sense.
Right.
So anyway, moving on. So, they take Steve Trevor to the hospital, and Diana doesn't leave his side because she falls in love with the guy without even speaking a word to him because, 40s sexism.
Also, that's the first time she's ever seen a man.
That's kind of what I got out of it. And I agree with the 40 sexism because I don't even
feel like this is sexism. This is an island for many, many years. It's just been all women. And they're like, oh my God, a man's here.
Yeah, but the reality is she fell in love with the only man she's ever seen in her life.
True.
Yeah, and there's that, and you don't think these women fall in love with each other over the hundreds and hundreds
I mean, they would have
years?
to at this point, yeah.
Well, they do, but this is the only man they've ever seen.
I just always found it funny that the depiction of this race of women is just this: they fall for the first man they come across. But obviously, they have to be into like their gender relationships because of.
Well, maybe she's not in the girls, and she finally found wow, this is what I'm into.
How would she even know she would be into a man? You know.
You know what? And why do they even know it is a man? I never thought about that. Like, how do they even know it's a man?
Well, they know it's a man because, I don't know how Diana and anyone like that knows it's a man, but like,
because she hasn't even heard the stories yet of the old times when there was men.
Right, but the Queen has the giant machine and stuff. Well, all the other Amazons besides Diana are like hundreds and hundreds of years. They were all there. They were there for the war, but Diana was born after all that.
Okay.
So she has to have heard some of the history. She's old enough to know about the war and of men.
I feel like she just tells her now in this.
She does. She tells her in this comic. Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. Anyway,
it's weird, and it's not something that we can talk about. So it just kind of is what it is, you know.
Okay.
The 40s.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely 40s.
Yes, the 40s.
I mean, yeah, this is like. I think Snow White was the only Disney princess at the time, and that's the same thing. It was just the trope back then.
Yeah, but
the sheltered woman.
That Snow White cartoon for the 40s is amazing. Did you ever look at the difference between that cartoon and the other ones in the 40s?
I mean, most of them were still in black and white.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Even like the old Marvel cartoons, the only thing that moved was their mouths. And here's this chick dancing around and singing and everything else. It's crazy.
It's pretty wild when you put it like that. Like, literally, it was a paper with a mouth moving.
Yeah. Literally.
In anything else. And now there's animation. Like,
and he's got girls dancing around and birds flying and whistling. And it was crazy. No wonder they made a ton of money.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's Disney for a reason.
Right.
Alright, so anyway, Diana won't leave Steve Trevor's side and playing nurse, and the actual doctor goes to her mother and says, I'm worried about her, she won't leave, can you make her not see him? And the Queen's like, yeah, we better do that. And so she forbids Diana from seeing Steve Trevor, and then explains the history of the Amazonian women, I should say, and then it turns into a book.
It does. I just realized I said chick. I'd never used the word chick. I must be in 40s mode, too.
You are.
I know, that's weird. Why did I do that? That's strange. I just said it. But you're right, TJ. It turns into a complete novel here.
Because it's literally just text upon text over a couple of pictures.
Yeah.
But, so the gist of it is, in the ancient days of Greece, the Amazons were in a country called Amazonia, and they were, and the Queen was gifted a magic girdle by Aphrodite, the goddess of love, to help her, that pretty much gives them immortality and stuff like that.
Did they show the girdle? Is it a girdle? Like a pushing her stomach in girdle?
I guess so. I don't know.
I don't know what other kind of a picture of it.
I don't know.
I want to say it's like a belt. Back then they called stuff like that. Like a girdle that we know today may not have been the same. Like, I think it's just a belt. If you look when she's punching in the one picture when she's beating up, I want to say it's Hercules or something.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Hercules.
It is Hercules.
She has like a. She has like a blue.
It's not like over her stomach though. Okay, I thought it was like a girdle.
Like
it's like a belt.
No, it's not. I don't think it's what we think of as a girdle. I think it's really just a belt, because I think in Norse mythology they call there's a belt that they call a girdle too, and it's not what you'd think it is.
Well, I typed in 1940s girdle, and it looks like a pair of pants with straps that connect the stockings.
Yeah, but you'd have to look at a girdle from ancient Greece.
Ancient Greece girdle. This is good things to have in my search history.
You're going to get some advertisements that you're not going to want. This is good podcasting too. Let's listen to TJ type and say what he's typing.
A zoster was a form of girdle or belt worn by men and perhaps later by women in ancient Greece. It's just a belt. Even they depict it sometimes as just string.
Yeah, it's like a rope string.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Now,
whatever.
Now we did History of Girdle podcast. Now let's go on.
Yes.
I've been taken to taken the cover of the comics that we've doing and just putting a book and writing history over the cover every time we talk about history in the podcast.
Yes.
So, I lost the comic. Hold on.
Magic girdle. Yeah.
Yeah, so Aphrodite gave the queen, I can't say her name, it's like Hippolyte. Hippolyte, and I don't think that's it either. I don't think that's it, but
that's close enough.
It's got a lot of P's in it. Let's just say that.
I'm looking for where it is, but I'm pretty sure it's Hippolyte.
It's H. Where is it? I just saw it. Hippoplyte. Hippolyte. It does sound like Hippolyte.
Yeah, but I don't think it's pronounced like that.
It's pronounced however I say.
Anyway, she has this girdle, and they're free of men's influence. But Hercules, the ancient demi-human, apparently did not like that he cannot conquer the Amazons, and so he tried to conquer them. But so the queen challenged him to single combat and beat him. However, he tricked them. I don't remember how. He by stealing, and he tricked them and stole the girdle, and so Hercules and I guess his army enslaved the Amazons. And Aphrodite was so mad at them that she did nothing about it. Eventually, Aphrodite took pity on them, gave her blessing. I guess they don't really show any of that. And the queen overthrows, takes the girdle back, but on condition, and Aphrodite had a condition that they leave the world of man behind and go find a deserted island, which they do. And ever since then they've been on Paradise Island, living eternal life of happiness and joy. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, ready?
Good.
Why is it not playing? Okay, apparently it's not playing.
Hippolyte.
Ah, there it goes. Did you hear it?
Told you.
It's Hippolyte.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't pronounced like that.
Hippolyte. All right, so they found an island. Okay.
Yeah. But after they found the island, they were free of men. They were given this circular stone tablet science machine by Athena, the goddess of wisdom, that allows them to look into man's world and teach them all languages and stuff like that.
So that's where probably she saw men.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking over at it, yeah. Diana was taught about all this stuff. So she has seen men before, but
so she didn't fall in love with the first man she saw.
No, she was waiting for that man.
Apparently, she's still fallen in love with an unconscious man that she's never even spoken to before.
Yeah. Well, you never saw Back to the Future? That happens all the time.
You seem to know this guy. Is he a really big deal in her story?
Oh, Steve Trevor? Colonel Steve Trevor is a big deal, yes.
He's her love interest, right? That's the...
Yes, essentially. He's the main love interest to Wonder Woman throughout the whole thing.
Okay, I didn't know that, and it's good to know now.
Yeah, he's like a soldier, and sometimes he's a spy for different agencies and stuff.
I think it's beautiful, TJ. It's love at first sight. She doesn't even need to know what what he's like. She loves him.
You never know when it's going to hit you.
Okay, you say that. Right now, it's only one-sided because he doesn't even wake up in this comic.
That's true. Fine.
This is true.
Just because
they never even meet each other.
He will. Don't worry.
But just because she's in love with him doesn't mean that he's going to be in love with her. We don't know that yet. It's not part of the story.
I know it. It's beautiful. Brought a tear to my eye.
Anyway, this giant machine that looks stupid with a stone plate in the middle of it with dates and stuff is being shown to Diana. And apparently it records everyone's history because now we get shown Steve Trevor's backstory.
Yeah.
So... And this is another thing about the sexism I want to talk about. This story is only 10 pages, and then this whole second half of it is all Steve Trevor.
Yeah, well, guess what? It's his origin story, too. It's his origin story.
It's like half of Wonder Woman's story is Steve Trevor's story.
Yeah, well, because her whole story is going to be about him as it goes on.
Yeah. And that was my point. Anyway... The magic sphere reveals that Steve Trevor is a colonel in the army, and he's found 2 Nazi generals or something who are doing something or another, and he wants to go after them because he doesn't want to put that on somebody else. The colonel's like, no, you can't do that, we can't lose you, and he says, I'm doing it, and the colonel's like, yeah, okay. So he goes and walks up to the Nazi's car and says, put your hands up, and they drive away and crash into a tree and knock him out. So... With him knocked out, they take him to a plane, and they put him in it, and it's... What is their exact word for it? It's a robot plane?
They call it a robot plane.
Yeah, yes.
So he's unconscious inside the robot plane, and their plan is to have the airfield or whatever it is they're over think that they're being bombed by one of their own guys when really they're up in the sky above the clouds bombing the thing below.
I didn't even realize that's what they were doing. So they're flying above him, dropping the bombs down. All they want him to do is fly over it in the robot plane, right?
Yes.
That's a dumb idea, but okay.
Yeah. So, but Steve Trevor wakes up in the midst of this. He flies up because I guess he just knew that they were up there. I don't know. And sees that the giant Nazi airplane's up there, and he starts chasing them. The Nazi on the other end of the radio, who's not flying the plane, says, "You got to get out of there," and so he does. And Steve Trevor chases him for hundreds of miles, apparently, until he runs out of gas, and then he crosses on Paradise Island. And the Queen said, "That's how he got here." And so,
he talks about how he's going to keep going, and then he runs out of fuel.
And so then the Queen says, "Get out, Diane, I gotta talk to my gods." And so that she does. The spirits of Aphrodite and Athena show up to her and say, "Oh my god, this is the most propagandist thing I've been
waiting. I've been waiting to get to this.
You wanna read what's going on here? What they say here?
America's the greatest, and it's gonna fight everything, and they're gonna it's the last citadel of democracy and of equal rights for women
and women's rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
American liberty and freedom must be preserved. You must send with him your strongest and wisest Amazon, the finest of your Wonder Woman. By the way, they call them all the Amazons Wonder Woman in this too.
Yeah.
For your Wonder Woman, for America, the last citadel of democracy and of equal rights for women needs your help.
I had my hand over my heart the whole time you were saying that.
Me too.
But I do understand. The war's probably still going on. They need to, keep that going, and they need to get her to America somehow. So let's make a reason for it. That's all.
It works.
Yeah.
And it sells war bonds and stamps.
Right.
But they have to get this American soldier back to America so that American can fight the evil Nazis.
Right.
Because this one soldier is going to turn the tide of everything.
No,
he is.
His partner is. It comes with him.
That's true, but we don't know that.
That is very true.
Anyway, the Queen's like, "Yeah, okay, we can send an Amazon. We're gonna have a tournament." And Diana says, "Can I join the tournament?" And Mom says, "No, I can't bear if you leave, because if you leave, you can't come back for some stupid reason."
Okay, so now you gotta go, somebody's gotta go with him and save America, right? But instead of going right away and getting this done, let's have a tournament.
Let's see who the strongest is. Yeah.
And so what is this, a couple days now?
I mean, they gotta send the right person.
I guess.
Anyway, the Queen tells Diana that she can't join because she can't bear to not see her ever again because, like I said. So the tournament starts, and Diana joins with a domino mask.
Yeah, that always works in these comics. You put that mask on, nobody knows who you are. Not even your own mother.
But I know, that's one, it's her own mother. Two, it's not a giant island. Every woman here knows who every other woman is.
It does say they came from all over the entire island, so maybe the island's a little bigger than we think.
Maybe, but they just don't know who this mystery woman is, who looks exactly like Diana.
The great day arrives, and from all parts of Paradise Island come the Amazon contestants. All parts. And it's weird, only this one has to wear a mask. And you can't figure it out either.
No, they say she doesn't. She wants to wear a mask, and she chooses not to remove it.
Her own decision was she has to wear that mask. So
which no one thought that was strange.
Right.
I mean, this is stupid.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look like Wonder Woman to me.
It doesn't. It really doesn't at this point.
Anyway, the competition starts off with a foot race against the deer for some reason, I guess.
No, the deer was running ahead to keep pace because they figured that nobody would be able to pass. The deer would be ahead of them. And then Diana passes the deer.
Yeah, but the deer was completely not necessary. They couldn't just have a finish line.
Well, they say, I don't know about that. I've never heard of having an animal run ahead. It's a trained deer, too, they say.
I mean, they do that with the rabbit for the dogs.
Yeah, the electric rabbit on the greyhounds. But I think them greyhounds are chasing that rabbit.
Yeah, they're chasing the rabbit. They're after the rabbit itself. It's not like, hey, we need to keep pace with that rabbit.
Wouldn't you think that might slow the greyhounds down then?
Well,
What if one's faster than the rabbit and it's chasing the rabbit so it slows down?
So he catches it and gets electrocuted.
Or they're trained to run as fast, trained after the rabbit, to keep running as long as that rabbit's there.
But they would still slow them down.
No.
Because what if they were faster than the rabbit and they got past it and now they're like, oh no, what do I do? I have to turn around.
Dogs only have a certain mile per hour. They just have to up the mile per hour so it never passes it.
Unless they get a Wonder Woman dog that can pass the deer.
Whatever. This is so unnecessary. After a bunch of tests of speed and strength and stuff, it comes down to two, number 12 and number 7. One's a blonde, one's Diana. And the last test is called Bullets and Bracelets, and this is...
Shoot each other.
This is crazy. I don't like, wait, what?
It is.
I'm confused on where the gun is coming from.
Yeah, I like, why do they have guns, first of all?
I don't know. But they have to shoot at each other and block it with their bracelets.
Yeah. And so the blonde shoots at Diana, who blocks all 5 shots, and then Diana shoots the other girl on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Because it's a gun.
It is a gun. But the other one's not fast enough to block it.
Apparently. Anyway, the queen's like, Diana unmasks and says, hey, it's my daughter. She's like, I kind of thought it was you. Here's a thing that I sewn here's a costume that I sewn that shows that you are Wonder Woman. And it's, the classic Wonder Woman red, white, and blue outfit.
Stars and the yellow eagle in the front.
And thus, I assume she goes to America with Steve Trevor because he never woke up and we don't get
that's a weird ending, too. It's like, okay, she's going, I guess.
And
it makes you want to know what happens next when she gets to America.
True.
I'm not gonna lie, I had no interest in what was happening next. I saw that.
You read Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I've never read these ones though. Just this depiction, I was not interested. I was like, I'm good.
So here is what I have.
I liked it.
I thought it was okay. I mean, it's a first. It's our first origin story, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, but I think this is. I actually don't know if Wonder Woman's the first woman superhero.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No, probably not Hawkgirl, right?
Hawkgirl was before Wonder Woman?
Well, she's in the JSA in the All-Star Comics.
Oh, is she already? So okay.
Or maybe it was Hawkman. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Hawkgirl. I think Hawkman's there first before Hawkgirl shows up.
Who was the first?
All right, while you're doing that, here's our appearances. Introduction to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, Colonel Darnell, Steve Trevor, they're all first appearances. Then we get the Nazi Party. Fritz and Von Storm, they're single appearances. And then other characters. Hippolyte, first appearance. Doctor, first appearance. Mala, first appearance. And then we get the gods of Olympus. Aphrodite, Athena, and Diana, the goddess of the moon, is only mentioned. And then we get Hercules in a flashback. So that's it.
So, apparently there was quite a few before her, but none that I recognize. So, apparently the first one is called Phantoma, the Woman in Red, 1940.
Huh.
I don't know who that is. Anyway, that was Wonder Woman.
Who was the other one? I see that. So it says 2 comic book characters have a claim to being the first female superhero.
I think
Phantoma.
And I think the Woman in Red's the other one.
Oh. I thought you were saying they were the same person. Okay, so Phantoma and the Woman in Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant Phantoma, the Woman in Red.
That's what I thought you said. Those are the 2, though.
I mean, honestly, that origin's still pretty much almost panel for panel what it is today. So
yeah, it's not that different, right?
It's an enduring origin, I'll give it that. I mean, obviously, the Steve Trevor getting his butt kicked by the Nazis are not in there anymore, but...
He just gets his butt kicked by somebody else, right?
Well, no, it's usually just him crashing on the island.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so the Nazi thing has kind of gone away. It was part of the war back then, but...
Yeah, he was just there. He's like, it's usually like an intelligence briefing or like something intelligence-wise, and he ran out of gas and just happened to crash on the island. So, but yeah. And, like, I don't think the tournament is always a thing either. I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not.
I have seen the tournament, but I don't know that it's,
Yeah, no, sometimes it is there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just her stealing, like, the Wonder Woman's, like, weapons and stuff and running away with Steve Trevor, essentially.
Did the mom ever just choose to send her?
Well, there's always
she's there to help somebody, right?
Yeah, it's always the initial. I'm not going to send you because once you leave the island, you're never coming back. Although she does come back like 800 times. So
yeah, multiple times.
But she's not supposed to come back. So initially she doesn't want her to go. So, but eventually she like accepts it. But yeah, that was that. Anything else?
You want to hear a Wonder Woman joke? Come on,
not really.
Which superhero is the most curious? Come on, Wonder Woman. Which superhero gets lost often when walking around? Wonder Woman. Come on. What does Wonder Woman do before bedtime? She puts her pajamas on. Get it?
Amazon.
Yeah. Why does Wonder Woman get asked out to dinner, but not to lunch or breakfast? Because she's a supper hero. Get it? She likes supper. I'm going to use that one for Batman, too. Forget that one. I'm going to use that one for Batman, too.
Can I ask a question? I thought you said joke. Why is there multiple?
I'm going to keep going. So, all right, that's it.